Hey everyone, welcome back to the IFL podcast, Emotional Hoarder edition. So this won't be long at all, but I am going to start doing the confessions of an emotional hoarder. And so this one is raw in real time. And the confession is disappointment has been one of my motivations. And so simply when it comes to financial decisions. I am an entrepreneur and I have two businesses that I run. I keep it separate from my household finances with my husband. And so this year, well, over the last couple of years, but really like this year, things have been kind of topsy-turvy with revenue and everything. And so there are some things that are coming up that are planned for the rest of the year, and it's looking like I don't know what to do. But I had a conversation with my husband today, and he was like, why didn't you tell me what was going on? And so I was like, well, honestly, it wasn't a thought. It wasn't against you. And the whole thing is, even though I written this book about being an emotional hoarder, and I'm talking about the healing, and I'm talking about all of these things, I am still in that healing process. My husband and I have been together for 14 years. We've been dating 14 years. We've been married 12 years, and we have three children. And so it's not that I don't trust him, and it's not that I'm not secure. He has done everything possible to make me feel secure, to make me feel protected, to build trust and everything. And I know some people are like, well, if he's done all that, then why are you still acting this way? It's because it's a me problem and not his problem. It's something that I have to work on in my own time, within myself. And it affects him to a certain extent, but majority of it is my inner work. And so the issue is that disappointment has been one of my biggest motivations. And what do I mean by that? I mean, in the past, I've asked for help. In the past, I've depended on people I thought I could trust. And if you've read the book, I talk about this starting from age 9 and all of that. And so now I'm 41 and just realizing and getting all of the language for mental health and understanding that I needed to unpack a lot coming out of survival mode, um, high functioning anxiety, and all of these things, right? And finally getting the verbiage for it, I'm starting to really like sit and unpack everything, which was my biggest motivation for writing the book because I know I can't be the only person going through this. So I don't like asking for help. I am the oldest sibling. I am the only girl, and I have been independent. I have been on my own. I have been strong. I have been all of these colloquialisms and all these things or whatever, but really it was just high functioning and being in survival mode, doing the things that I thought were normal to survive. But long story short, my situation, my current situation right now is that I realized after talking to my husband, I'm like, okay, wait, what is it about me that is hesitant? What is it about me that is putting me in a space of I didn't even give it a thought or whatever? Not, and it's not dismissing him, and I had to explain that to him. It's not dismissing him, but I'm so used to doing things on my own, especially when it comes to my businesses, because I came into entrepreneurship as these two businesses are my babies, and I don't want anybody to feel like they're responsible for it. So I'm making sure I do everything that I'm supposed to do to keep building these businesses. But what I've also learned within these 9 years of entrepreneurship is that I never had a team mindset. I've worked in corporate America for years and I've been on teams and I've done team building and I've done team leadership and all of these things. But once I got into entrepreneurship, it was like I kind of went into a hole and I'm learning at this even more at this ninth year, going to my 10th year, that I could be so much further along had I addressed what was going on, knew what was going on, had the verbiage to even to speak about what was happening. But it's not that I don't, again, I don't, it's not that I don't trust my husband, and it's not that I don't have trustworthy friends. I have friends that are like the best in the world. And sometimes I look at the friendships that I have and I'm like, the Lord really has favored me in a friendship space, because the friends that I have are, they're top tier. And sometimes I'm like, am I am I good enough to be their friends, because they're so wonderful and they're so amazing. But and we've been friends for years, like 10 plus years. Some as little as 5, maybe to 8 years. But it's, as an emotional hoarder, when you're disappointed, it makes a pivotal turn for you, and you don't necessarily address it. But if you do address it, it's more of like in a dismissive way, like, oh, okay, bet. And you leave it at that, and then you go chasing this thrill of, I'm not going to ever need anybody again. Nobody's going to disappoint me again. If something falls apart, it'll be all on me. And I just don't want to be in a space where it makes you feel like what you need, or what you're working on, or what you're wanting to bring to fruition is in somebody else's hands because you asked them for help. And so it's a crazy feeling, absolutely crazy feeling. I have the best husband in the world, and I stand on that. But he's frustrated because he's like, why would you not tell me that this is happening? Why would you not have this conversation with me? And it's character building, and it's a day to day, hour by hour, minute by minute place of growth. Um, and it is uncomfortable, and it is emotional, which something an emotional hoarder does not address, like the emotions. Yeah, take the emotion out and keep it moving and not addressing it. But I really had to sit with myself and be like, if I would just ask, well, first ask for the wisdom, pray for the wisdom to know who to ask, when to ask, and how to ask. And I think I'm big on wisdom, to the point where my other business is Wisdom by 30, which is the anchor to this podcast, the books that I've written, and helping other authors as well. But wisdom, and all that, get understanding, get wisdom. And so I just, the Bible is literal, and I've never taken it, not saying that I've never taken it, but now in the recent years, I've taken it as literal help, as literal apply this to your life. And so I'm doing this confession because I have to break these things, and I have to come out of bondage. I have, even though I've written a book, I have not crossed the finish line just yet of some of the things that I've written about, but I am aware and I'm working on it. And so if you're like me and you had that pivotal moment of disappointment where it crushed you, it made you feel like you couldn't trust anyone or whatever, especially if you're married, it will do you service to pinpoint where the disappointment comes from, dissect it, sit with it, and if you have to, grieve over it, and then wash yourself of it, because it may be holding you hostage or in bondage in ways that you have not even realized yet. And sometimes it can come out in marriage. Sometimes it can come out in business partnerships, or just business transactions, or as a parent, or as a guardian, a chaperone, whatever. It can come out in different ways, but the moment that it comes out, address it. The moment that you figure out what it is, Address it and get rid of it. Renounce and denounce it. Get it out of your life. Get yourself cleansed from it, because most of the time it is the thing that's holding you back in life. So this has been Confessions of an Emotional Hoarder. I hope that you got something out of this, even if you're not an emotional hoarder. Um, I hope it was still valuable to you. And so I will continue to do these confessions because this is helping me in my growing and healing process. And so this has been the IFL Podcast, Emotional Hoarder Edition. Talk to you soon.